Hello. Okay, it is Saturday morning. This mess has been in for 2 weeks. Bun got redone a couple of times, added a heap of oil, but let's see what we're dealing with. So, this is what the ends come out looking like. This is not a bad overnight curl technique, if you're that way inclined. For me, these braids need help. So, I'm going to start by pulling apart these 3 braids. Yeah, well, alright. There's a little bit of braid shred happening up top, but nothing too major. Okay, that one's the top braid, so we're just gonna wind that one out of the way completely. We're doing that one last because it is the one that is going to be the least amount of grief. This one goes this side, and that one is also going to be consequently less of a problem. This one, haha, this one is going to be the problem, because this one has all of the back in it. And that's the section that's going to have mattered the worst. So let's pull it apart and see what we're working with. I already know up here has mattered on me, but that's fine, I knew it would. Please excuse the voice, I have a cold. And I got to start my morning by going up to the hospital and getting a COVID test, just in case. My boss does not want me to throw out his entire month's worth of scheduling, so we're ruling that out straight off the bat. Yeah, man. Braid waves. Now, I realised the YouTube thing would be to pull all 3 braids out and go from there. I'm not going to be doing that because, oh my god, just oh my god. This is coming apart fairly easily. These have not really tangled. There is a lot of additional hair in here though, because all the sheds from the last couple of weeks are all still locked in here. But that's fine, it is the price I pay. That could be a lot worse. It's 2 weeks worth of matting. That is really not that bad. So, detangling weapon of choice. Wide tooth comb. I do also have a tangle teaser. I'm not going to be using this until the end because this roughs my curls up like no tomorrow. That's when most of the stuff's out and all I'm looking to get out is the last of the sheds. So, starting at the ends. Moving up a bit. And you'll notice I'm really not having to struggle that much. Even around the sheds. So, I'm going to do a 2 to 3 inch section, get myself a nice decent mat happening, and then we're going to start underneath the mat and pull it out from the bottom. Oh. Now, this is where shit's gonna get a little harder. Okay, this is where clean lines come in, because you'll notice I have reasonably straight lines back here, and it means I'm not going to risk ripping stuff out of one of the other braids, which I don't want to do. That hair's got to come from somewhere, and it's probably going to come off my scalp before it runs out of braid. Alright, just about got the matted section off the scalp. Not difficult. Okay, we are almost completely detangled on the top half. Just the bottom half, so the last of the sheds are pulled out. Now, yes, this probably isn't great for the hair, frankly, I know that, but the last 6 months have been, frankly, nuts. I am an essential worker, so while everybody else was working from home, I was still in a truck, and because of what I do, that meant up to 12 days at a time in the truck, away from home. This is not something I want to do on the side of the road. That is just asking for trouble. So, that's about 2 weeks worth of sheds for a third of my hair. And that entire section is done. So that can go back. And we are going to deal with this one, which is the little section on the back and the other section on the side. You may remember I did my sections slightly off center because I wanted to keep my side part. Now, if you're doing this only for a couple of days or even overnight, you could probably use this for overnight curls. You might have to rethink where you put your sections and where you put the bun, but I would imagine it would look quite pretty with all these lovely little braid waves all playing quite nicely together. So, what I'll do, I will go ahead and get this one and this one done. I'll pop back briefly and let you see what that looks like. And then I'm going to go ahead and wash this mess. And oh my god, it needs washing. I mean, it's oily, but most of that I put in there. My biggest problem at the moment is it's dry because it's been 6 months of outright neglect as opposed to simply benign neglect. And frankly, I knew that was going to bite me in the butt sooner or later. I just haven't been in a position to do anything about it. So yeah, you can see, there's a fair amount of matting up here. But the extra tail sections, really not that bad. I mean, that's even managing to hold on to curl pattern fairly well, so it's not having many problems. So I'm gonna go sort this mess out and sort this top one out, and I will be back. Alrighty, it's all done. Yeah, this is why we don't brush curls out. Lots of hair. There is still a number of sheds throughout the length. And unfortunately, because my hair's so blasted thick, it is going to keep a number of sheds despite my best efforts, because that's just what it does. So this is where my tangle teaser comes in. It does not get pulled out for everyday detangling, because all it does is fray my ends, and they do not appreciate it. And it tends to snap my wet curls, so it doesn't get pulled out in the shower either. But I have found right before a shower, when my hair is all lovely and detangled, and all I really need to do is get the last of the loose stuff out, particularly on days like this, where it's been up for a few days to a couple of weeks. Tangle teaser works really well. That is what I just pulled out. I just finished detangling this. Right. So, I'm going to go and wash this mess. It is getting clarified. It is getting pampered. It is getting loaded with conditioner, and it's just going to sit. Honestly, I think the oil might have done me a favour on this, because I was expecting this to feel crispy or close to it, and this just feels, I mean, the ends are drier than they should be, but this does not feel bad for at least 6 months since I actually properly got all the shit out of it. So I will be back once it's washed to do the final detangle. We'll see what I end up with. Alrighty, options. I have them. So this is the Week to Week shampoo. It is a sulfate-free moisturizing shampoo for dry hair. It's actually pretty good. Week in, week out, this is what I go for. For those weeks when that just isn't quite doing the trick, so once a month, once every 2 months, we go for Tresemme, either anti-breakage for dry and damaged hair, or Saloon Silk for the frizz. Very good options, easily available. Yeah, mid to high price range. These three are all supermarket brands. They are not specialty products. I can get them when I do my groceries. I have not used either of these two, for the last 6 months. My hair needs to be clarified properly, which is where my nuclear option comes in. This is very good. It is also all the way back to keratin. It takes off everything. So that one is today's option, and it is getting paired with either soothing macadamia, running away on me, or aloe vera hair fruit. These two are also supermarket brand and very good. This is the only option I have in here that is not targeted specifically at dry hair, and it is not something I found in a supermarket. I had to go looking for this one. Everything else is cheap. It is available where I do my groceries, and it's all aimed at dry hair because anything marketed for curlies is considered specialty products and they are just painful to find. And on that we are back. It's been sitting up for about 20 minutes, half an hour. It's sat in conditioner for a good 15 minutes. But she is feeling much better. So, for the record, just a straight up square of muslin cloth folded in half. Works much better than a towel. And I've heard all the hype about the microfiber towels. I don't use normal towels on my hair anymore. I am not touching a towel that sticks to the pads of my fingers. I ain't trusting that. So, this is what we're dealing with. This is mostly detangled, but because of how my hair is, it will have picked up a few tangles between climbing out of the shower and going up in the cloth. So we are back to detangling. And because it has just come out of the shower, it's going to play a whole lot nicer and let me do it all in one lot. What have you picked up there? So what we might do is divide and conquer this bottom section, because the top has apparently decided it's not going to play fair. That's fine. Weapon of choice. Okay, come on. That's the top part in, and then straight down the back. What in Sam heck have I got going on back there? Come on. Come on. There we go. Right. Divide and conquer. So this is the post-wash detangle. This comb will not get used again until Monday afternoon, Tuesday morning, because after some trial and error, I have actually worked out that I A, don't need to wash that off, don't need to comb that often, and B, really shouldn't be. Because all I do is screw the curl pattern up, and well, I have enough of those problems as it is. No point adding to them. But this has its own mess happening. And this is probably mostly due to the fact that I wash my hair all over my right shoulder. It doesn't get pushed over to the back. It doesn't get hauled over to the left. And it most definitely does not get piled up on top. This made myself a nice big mat down the bottom, and now I'm just going to quietly peel that apart. I found my hair is a lot happier when I just generally keep it in one spot, wash it all over one shoulder, keep it over that shoulder until I get out of the shower and can wrap it up and out of the way. And believe me, it took me a few years to figure out that trick. Alrighty. Lovely and detangled. More sheds because my hair just holds on to them. You can get back out of the way. So most of the problem for this detangle is all mid-strand. The bottom 5-6 inches aren't too bad. They're just going to behave themselves and fall right out. The top section, as long as I'm nice and gentle, will just brush straight off the scalp. About here to about here-ish. That's where most of the big knots will turn up for me. And that's just how my hair is. You know, go slow. Attack the bastard from the bottom. Just nice and gentle. Ooh. Got a big one right on my fingers. A couple of sheds that have just decided they have to get involved with each other. I suspect at least one fairy knot that has decided it's going to pick now to chuck a party and invite all of its pals. But that is completely detangled. Now, I don't plop. My curls get aggravated enough with being warped as it is. I am going in with a nice glob of oil. Same stuff as last week. And we are primarily focusing on the length. More sheds, always more sheds. What I might do is get my bottom 4 inches. Just drop the oil right onto it. From here, and back in with the comb. Comb out all the stuff that's just gotten oiled. Make sure everything is plain, nice and fair. And now we start to break the curl up. Because if I let it dry like this, it is going to dry flat and frizzy. So in and up off the scalp. Yeah, off the scalp. Off the scalp, out of the middle. Yeah, if we pull it all over one shoulder, I can get the stuff in the back and shake that hard part line in the back out completely. Make the ends, make sure they're still nice and plain fair. More sheds. Now make sure the part goes back the other way so that it doesn't curl weird. I don't use heat. I don't even own a hairdryer. I have a straightening brush. I think I got used twice. I did not spend a lot of money on it because I knew it was only going to get used a couple of times. Alright. I'm happy for the front to just do its own thing. It will work itself out. Now, you see, the part line we put in to detangle everything is no longer there. And by doing it this way, this part line will stay put, but all of this will pull straight back and I'm not going to get weird gaping on top. Right. The mess. It is tidy. Spend today quietly drying to itself. Now I've apparently picked up hair in my elbow, but that's alright. It will just quietly dry all day. By late afternoon I'll be able to stick it up and away. And when I find out what I'm doing next week, I'll find out if I'm putting it away again for another 2 weeks. We'll be fine. Have a lovely new year. I'll speak to you all later.